This small alien child may look like a stranger in the dark, but she isn't what you think. Because beneath fear and rain, there is a fragile thread of trust that could change two worlds. The night was cold and the rain fell in hard sheets, washing the forest in gray. Two moons hid behind clouds and the thunder sounded like angry voices far away. A girl named Laura walked alone, her feet heavy, her eyes full of tears. Her home was gone. Soldiers came from the sky and burned everything. Her mother whispered for her to run, and then there was only smoke, fire, and silence. Laura kept walking because there was nowhere else to go. She hugged a small bag to her chest, shivered in the wind, and asked the dark, "Mama, where are you?" Only the wind answered. If one act of kindness does not happen tonight, a child will vanish in the rain, and with her, the last hope of peace. The forest seemed to move with shadows. Every branch looked like a hand reaching for her. Then through the trees, she saw an orange light blinking. It was small, warm, and steady, like a heartbeat. Her people said humans were gone from these lands, but the light called her closer. She followed it through mud and mist until the trees opened and the rocks leaned like old teeth around a hidden human outpost. The walls were metal and covered with moss. One window still glowed. Laura stood in the rain and watched a shape move inside. She was afraid, but she was more afraid of the night. She knocked, a soft sound under the storm, and waited. The door opened a little. A tall man stood there, coat wet, eyes tired. He did not speak at first. His eyes were deep, like they had seen too much. Laura whispered, "Please, can I stay? My mother is gone." The man watched her for a long breath. Something turned in his face. Memory, mercy, both. He stepped aside and said, "Come in." Inside was warm. Machines hummed. A small fire burned in a metal box. He gave her a towel and a cup of something hot. "What is your name?" he asked. "Elra," she said, barely a sound. "I'm Daniel," he replied. "You're not safe out there." Elra looked at the floor. "They took everything," she said. Daniel's jaw tightened. He looked at the door like he could see through the metal to the storm and the men beyond it. He checked the locks and the little green lines on a screen. He moved with quiet practice, like he had done this 1,000 times. The room smelled like warm metal and old smoke. There was a picture on the table, a woman smiling next to Daniel. Elra felt a small ache that was not from the cold. "You can sleep there," he said, pointing to a couch by the fire. He gave her a blanket that smelled clean and safe. Elra lay down and listened to the hum of the machines. The storm grew louder. Somewhere deep in the forest, blue lights flashed. Daniel stood at the window and tapped a small device on his wrist. A broken voice came through the static. "They are coming!" "Hide her now!" Daniel looked at Laura. She was already half asleep, just a small shape in a big blanket. He spoke to the empty air. "I promised," he said. Lightning lit his face, and for a moment fear showed, and then something else, hope that refused to die. When Laura woke, the rain had stopped, but the world was still gray. Daniel sat near the door, face dull with tiredness, watching a screen filled with green lines. "You're safe here for now," he said. The words were gentle but heavy. "Where am I?" Elra asked. "An old human outpost," he said. "From before the war." She looked at the walls, the quiet screens, the smiling faces in the old photos. How could people smile in a time like this? She touched the edge of a frame and picked up dust on her fingers. "Why are you still here?" she asked. Daniel stared at the floor before answering. "I have nowhere else to go," he said. He handed her a pack of food. It was dry but warm. She ate slowly and watched him move around the room, a man built out of careful habits. Lock, screen, door, listen. "Who are you running from?" she asked. "People who don't like humans here anymore," he said. "Are they the ones who killed my mother?" she whispered. Daniel did not answer. The silence did. After a while, he spoke again. "Your mother was brave." Laura looked up, shocked. "You knew her?" Daniel nodded and opened a small metal cube on a shelf. A soft light rose from it. Elra's breath caught. It was her mother's face in light, smiling as if the world were safe. Tears fell down Laura's cheeks. "She helped both sides once," Daniel said. "Humans and your people. She wanted peace." Elra swallowed the bitter truth. But peace never came. Daniel nodded, eyes low. Because people like me failed. The wind returned in the evening and the outpost shook. The radar flashed. Something's out there, Daniel said. Elora stood beside him and watched small dots crawl across the screen. Drones, he said. If they see us, we're done. He shut off the lights. The room fell into a dark red glow. Elra could hear every beat of her heart. Daniel placed a small device in her hand. If I say hide, press this and don't move. The sound outside grew into a deep hum that pressed against the walls. Minutes stretched into hours. Then the hum faded. They didn't see us, Daniel said. Ulra's hands were shaking. Do they come a lot? More now, he said. They're hunting for something. She looked at him, fear thin as glass in her voice. Me? Daniel met her eyes. Maybe. Why? She asked. He stood very still. Because your mother hid something inside you, he said. Lara felt a small pulse in her chest. What do you mean? He looked at the window instead of her. If they find out, no one will be safe. She could not sleep. The outpost was quiet, but the quiet felt heavy, like it hid a secret in the walls. Daniel slept in the next room, or pretended to. A locked door at the back of the outpost pulsed with a faint blue light. Daniel had told her to never open it. She stood up, wrapped the blanket around her shoulders, and walked to the door. Her fingers touched the metal. The lock clicked on its own. A voice whispered, soft and calm. Access granted, Laura. She froze. How did it know her name? The door slid open and revealed a stair down into the dark. Lights woke as she stepped one by one like the walls breathed. At the bottom was a pale room, a crystal pod at the center, cables and screens all around. Inside the pod was a glowing sphere that pulsed like a heartbeat. The room seemed to turn its head toward her. A voice filled the air, warm and familiar. My sweet Laura, if you hear this, I am gone. It was her mother. Do not be afraid, the voice said. You carry my gift, a memory that can save our world. I put it where no one could steal it, in your mind. Laura put her hand on the glass and cried without sound. The humans helped me, the voice went on. Daniel was one of them. Trust him. Then the voice faded, and the machines grew still. Elra stood alone in the soft light, feeling her heart beating with the rhythm of the pod. The alarm began to scream. The floor shook. Elra? Daniel shouted from above. She ran up the stairs. He met her in the main room, face hard. You opened it, he said. She could not answer. That door is a failsafe, he said. When it wakes, they can find us. The outpost trembled again. Daniel grabbed a metal case from the wall and snapped it open. Tools, a weapon, a small shining chip. Your mother and I tried to stop a war, he said. When she died, I hid the truth from both sides. What truth? Elra asked. That we share the same origin, Daniel said. Humans and your kind. We were never meant to be enemies, the radar screamed. Dots closed in fast. They found us, Daniel said. He shut the power, opened a hatch in the floor, and pointed to a dark tunnel. Go! Elra shook her head. You'll die. He gave a small, tired smile. Maybe. I promised her I'd protect you. Boots hit the door above them. Metal screamed. Go, Lara, he said, pushing her down the hatch. The door slammed shut. She crawled through the dark while the world above broke apart. The tunnel led into an old mine. She climbed over rusted machines and crates. Blue light flashed through cracks in the rock. The outpost was burning. Her wrist device blinked red. Daniel's voice came through, thin and far. Keep moving north. Follow the tunnel until you see the light. Where are you? She whispered. Don't stop, he said. Then the signal died. She found a broken metal door and pushed herself into the night. Rain hit her face and washed the dirt away. A deep valley opened under the mountains. A ship roared across the sky, black, marked with sharp symbols. White light cut the ground, seeking her. Laura dove behind a fallen tree and pressed her mouth shut. The light passed. She crawled to a narrow stream and followed the cold water to hide her trail until dawn. When the first sun touched the ridge, she saw a strange glow far up the mountain, a blue energy like a quiet fire. She remembered Daniel's words, follow the light. Hours later, shaking with hunger and pain, she reached a hidden hangar behind tangled vines. Project Haven, the old sign read. Inside, dust floated like fog. Sleek machines slept with cables like veins. When she touched one, it woke and lit with a soft sound. "Welcome, Laura," a calm voice said. "I am the Guardian. Your mother made me to protect you." Lights rippled through the hall. "This place is the last safe zone," the voice said. "Built by humans and your kind together. It has waited for you." A crash echoed outside. Soldiers landed from the black ship with drones. "Go to the main chamber," the Guardian said. Elra ran across the hangar as blasts shook the walls. A glass door opened and a control room bloomed with light. Her mother's image appeared again, smiling, steady. "My daughter," the image said. "If you are here, the war has found you. The secret is not a weapon. It is hope. It lives in you, a bridge between our kinds." Warmth spread through Laura's chest. The door exploded behind her. Soldiers rushed in. The light in her chest grew stronger and the sound of the world pulled away. Wind swirled. The soldiers vanished in a wave of force she did not understand. When the light faded, the chamber was broken and quiet. Ilra stood shaking in the center, the air smelling like burnt wires and rain, the glow under her skin soft and steady. She stepped back into the daylight. The valley was still, and ash drifted like slow snow. Far away, black ships crossed the sky like scars. She needed answers and found them deeper in the mountain. A gate of stone opened under her hand. Symbols moved like gentle fish in clear water. "Welcome home, Laura," a voice said, not in her ears but inside her mind. She entered a wide chamber of blue crystal. The walls sang in soft voices, the past speaking in light. She saw humans and aliens building together, laughing under twin suns. She saw betrayal, fire, and running feet. She saw her mother hide bright data in the mountain. She saw Daniel, younger, carrying her mother to safety. Wilra fell to her knees and cried, not from fear, but from love that hurt. "The war began when they forgot who they were," the voice said. "You must remind them." Metal boots echoed in the tunnels. Lights flickered as soldiers came closer. Elra ran deeper and found a small room with a floating crystal heart and a chair full of old symbols. She touched the heart. Energy filled her, and visions fell through her mind like rain, stars, ships, leaders shaking hands. Daniel's face rose last. "You will be the bridge," he said. "Activate the defense," she whispered. Crystals lit. Blue waves raced through the tunnels. Entrances sealed with light. Rocks fell. The soldiers were cut off. Laura sank to the floor and slept, held by the hum of the mountain. When she woke, the chambers were dim and quiet. A second tunnel led to a human archive with weak screens and a red title, Project Haven, Human Memory Archive. A soft light flickered. Daniel's face appeared, younger, brighter. "Recording 72, he said. "Secret work continues. It could end the war." The image shifted. Explosions. Then Daniel again, hurt and tired. "The council refused peace. They called our work unnatural. She, your mother, did not give up. She placed the bridge in her child." Elra pressed her hands to her chest. The warmth grew. She found a small box with Daniel's name. Inside was a silver disc and a note. "Elra, if you find this, I'm gone," it read. "You were never just a mission. You are family. Don't just survive. Lead them home." She placed the disc in the console. Daniel, older and worn, stared into the camera. "They're hunting me." "It doesn't matter. If she's alive, there's hope. Elra, remember, humanity isn't just in humans. It's in kindness, in sacrifice, in love." The screen went dark. Elra wiped her tears. "I won't let your hope die," she whispered. Outside, thunder rolled like the world was waking. She followed a path of light through the tunnels to the surface. Wind pulled at her cloak. She climbed to a high cliff. Below, the old ruins burned. Ships fell from the clouds. Soldiers spread like a black tide. The glow in her chest answered the mountain. Crystals hummed deep below the rock. "I'm ready," she said. A voice shouted from the valley. "Laura of the hybrid blood, surrender and we will spare you." She heard the lie in the words. She looked down. "You can't kill what was meant to unite," she said. Lightning split the sky. Then she saw him among the soldiers, Daniel, wounded and chained but alive. "Elra," he called. "Don't stop now." weapons lifted toward her. "Move, and he dies," the commander shouted. Ilra's hands shook. The light in her chest flickered with her fear. Daniel's voice cut through the storm. "Listen to me. This is for all of us. You won't lose me. I'm with you." The commander raised his hand to fire. The mountain roared. Blue energy burst from the cliffs. The storm became light. Weapons shorted and fell. Daniel's chains snapped. He stumbled, looked up, and smiled through rain. "You did it," he said. Ilra rose a hand's width above the stone, wrapped in quiet power. "No more war," she said. "No more hate. Not between us." The storm twisted into a bright spiral and opened the sky to the stars. A beam of light rose from Laura's chest and reached upward, a single line linking earth and sky, human and alien. Daniel climbed to her side, shaking. He pressed his hand over the glow in her chest. The light grew until it was almost too bright. Together they spoke words older than the war. Unity is not born from blood but from understanding. Light ran across the valley and touched every soldier, every ship. Engines fell quiet. Weapons became dead metal. The commander sank to his knees. Peace fell like rain. Lyra's strength faded. She dropped, and Daniel caught her. "You did it," he whispered. "We did it," she said and smiled. The light in her chest softened and went still. The storm cleared. Stars watched from a clean sky. Daniel looked up and breathed a shaky prayer. "She saved us all." In the mountain, the crystals hummed again, not like a warning, but like a song. Ilra lay quiet, skin kissed by a faint glow. The world, for the first time in 1,000 years, felt human again.